Hey, Michelle with Treecat here. Good morning. How you all doing today? I am here to talk about AI on today's coffee chat. I want to talk about how AI is this disruptive new technology, and it's changing the way we work. Are you using AI as a reseller? If you're not, I think you should be. So today in this coffee chat, I'm about to tell you what it can do for you as a reseller, and I'm going to give you a sneak peek about what we're up to here at Treecat. So listen in, listen up, because we're about to get into it. All right. So let's talk about how it's disrupting the industry, because it really is. If you look at the MIT Technology Review, they talk about how it's ending search as we've known it. I don't know if you can show the screen here, Mr. Treecat, about some of these interesting articles that we've come across. Yeah, so MIT is saying it's basically disrupting search. This is search engine land, actually, and they're talking about how Google is basically Google search is down 90% because people are going to AI. They're starting to use AI instead of Google search. Pretty interesting stuff, right? And this one is the Tom's Guide article about how people are ditching Google for Chat GPT. So I think, you're probably using it. I know I'm using it. I use it for everything from email to, just to check my spelling in email, just to get like the proper grammar, syntax, spelling, and things like that. So I just run like everything I write, I run it through, AI and say, hey, help me make this better, help me make it more clear to read. And, just so it's really transforming the way we do our work. And as resellers, it's transforming everything that we do. I want to talk about the ways that I'm using AI as a reseller. Maybe these things will help you. So just as a brief overview, I'm using it for hashtags. I'm using it for pricing. I'm using it for market research. I'm using it for photo editing, and I'm using it for product descriptions, because these things are here and they're available and they're free. So let's start with using, I can't say that Gemini is my favorite, but I do use it on occasion. But I have other AI programs that I prefer. I really like Autopilot. So like kudos to Microsoft for making that a really, really strong and powerful AI that they've kind of integrated into everything. Like they've even integrated it into like emails. So you can say, can you, if somebody sends you like a really long email, you can just click on a button and they can like kind of give you the Cliff's Notes of that email, which is really cool. Okay. And then Google does the same thing, right? And even like if you go on Zoom or something, you can say, hey, can you make a transcript of this? You know what I mean? So I think you can use that. If you weren't listening or something like that, you can go back and read the transcript. So AI has just become kind of ubiquitous. It's, it's, like I said, a disruptive technology. It's changing the way we work. And let's talk about the hashtags, how I look for hashtags using AI. So I go into Gemini or I go into Autopilot. I've even been trying some other, I know there's Grok, there's Chat GPT, there's DeepSeek. There's just a ton that you can use that are for free, which is really awesome. So one of the things that I like to try to get a better handle on are my hashtags, right? So I put into this, what are the 3 hashtags that I should use on Poshmark for, and the thing with AI is it's iterative, right? So you can put in a really basic prompt and then you can just keep getting that prompt better and better and better. So I worked on this prompt for a while. And initially it was just like, what are the 3 top hashtags I could use on Poshmark and Mercari for my listings to get? And then I was like, well, what if I want my listings to be ranked higher in search optimization? So, and then I did it again and I was like, well, what are the how can I get maximum views with these hashtags and make it optimized for search ranking, not only on the platform itself, but on Google? So I iterated with this and I came up with what are the 3 hashtags that I should use on Poshmark. And actually, I was doing Poshmark and Mercari, and then I decided I'm going to do Poshmark by itself, and then I'm going to do one for Mercari by itself. So what are the 3 hashtags I should, because it gave me different information, actually. When I did it for both of them, it gave me one set of information, but then when I did it separately, it gave me different hashtags, meaning that those particular sites prioritize different hashtags. So I found that very interesting. Let me take a quick drink and let's continue. Okay. And by the way, We do have a chat open. So if you have questions that you want to ask in the chat, feel free, because we are here to answer questions live. But getting back to hashtags and my hashtag prompt, what are the 3 hashtags I should use on Poshmark? Or let's change it to Mercari for this instance. Let's see if I can change it. Sometimes it lets you edit. Is it going to let me edit? Yeah, no, it's not going to let me edit right now, but there is a way. I think there is a way to edit. If I go to like my last one that I did, oh, here it is. I did it for Mercari. Okay. What 3 hashtags? So I already did this prompt, right? For Poshmark, I said, what 3 hashtags should I use on Poshmark for optimal intra-platform SEO, maximum views, and the absolute best and most optimized search ranking for this listing? And I put the listing. And honestly, I probably should have put more information on that listing. The fact that it was a buy it, well, they don't have buy it now on Poshmark. But what other things could I have put? There's probably more optimization that I could do. Like if I was doing this for eBay, I'd make sure that it knew that it was like the condition. I'd put the condition in there, and I'd put that it's a buy it now. But for Poshmark, I might just put a not new. I might say not new next time I iterate on this. But for now, this is what it gave me, okay? For optimal Poshmark SEO for this listing, focus on these 3 hashtags, okay? And then I put the same information in, for Mercari, right? This is the same prompt, but I just put in Mercari, and it gave me slightly different information. So if you're not using, just free and available AI to get better information, trending information, and, we could even iterate on this some more. We could say, what 3 hashtags should I use on Mercari for optimal Mercari SEO, maximum views, and absolute best and most optimized Google search ranking. But then we could also put in, I think we should put in, what else could we put in? I think something about it's not used, but it's kind of like used, excellent condition, or not new, excellent condition, not new, excellent condition. And then the name of the thing, the name of the product. And then we want to put something about trending, because hashtags are all about what's trending, right? So what 3 hashtags should I use on Mercari for optimal, trending hashtags? What 3 trending hashtags? Let's do that. Let's see if it gives us different information. Okay. So I added that it's not new, the condition, and I added that I want trending hashtags. Okay. So let's update that prompt and see what it gives me. Okay. So it's tricky to pinpoint what's trending, but so did it change the prompts? It says plus size bra, 42 triple D, and lane bra and can chic. You know what? I would say that that's probably more accurate than some of these other, just from my personal experience, than some of these other things here. So take their advice and try it out, but continue to iterate on your prompts so that you can get really the most pinpointed information and advice from Gemini or from whatever you're using. And the more you use it, the better it gets. Okay, let's move on. What's the second thing that I use, that I'm using things for? Pricing. Yes, I am using it, pricing, because guess what? I don't think it's a good idea to take eBay or Poshmark or Mercari's word for pricing. I think you should do your research, honestly, and do some pricing double checks so that how you need to price things, because you're pricing things in a way where you're going to be making offers, you're going to be doing promotions and stuff like that. So I would go like, maybe let's see about this prompt. So what is the optimal pricing strategy for this particular type of bra size on eBay based on today's current market trends? And this is what it told me. So it gave me just a ton of information. And I was like, no, this isn't a very strategic way to do a prompt, right? So then I started, iterating on it. And it's basically giving me hints like you should be making you should be putting more information for me, because it doesn't know if you're talking about best offer. It doesn't know, if you're talking about, whatever you're talking about. I think you need to put the condition, right? So it's telling me from 15 to 25. So if I, did I iterate on that optimal pricing strategy in today's current market that will be best optimized in search? It kind of gives me the same information. But then when I continue to iterate, I said, what are the top 3 prices? So I'm continuing to hone in so that it gives me really specific feedback. So what are the top 3 prices for an eBay buy it now listing, right? I put buy it now because it gave me that information that it was like too broad. So I said, what are the top 3 prices for an eBay buy it now listing, new without tags, excellent condition for, and then I do the, I put a few more things in there. Like I put that it has an underwire, I put that it's lightly lined, and I put what it's made out of, right? So I added some features in there. And then I said, based on current market trends, that will optimize it to rank highest in search. So I think that was a pretty good prompt, right? Because, it gave me a little bit higher price on the high end. And then it told me what the mid range was. And that's the most competitive price. So it's giving me a lot more information, a lot more strategy. So, you can, start with my prompts if you want and continue to iterate on those. And it just gives you more information. So I am loving using AI for various reasons, and that's one of them. So let's talk about what else I use it for. I also use it for market research. Okay, so what I told it was I said, hey, suggest for me top performing product categories on eBay for spring of 2025, given the current consumer confidence levels and the most recent economic indicators. So this was iterated. Okay. I started with tell me the top performing product categories on eBay for spring 2025. And it wasn't really as strategic as I wanted. So then I said, hey, give me this information, but tell me, but take into account that, consumer confidence might be bad right now. And what are the economic indicators right now? And how's that going to change what I'm sourcing? So, and then I wanted to know what makes these things successful and why, and should I be selling them? So of course, it gave me a ton of information, but it was helpful information. So I still could probably iterate this more, and you could do, you could say product categories. You could say instead of product, it told me basically, what the consumer confidence is, right? And what the economics indicators are, and what the seasonal trends are, and what the top performing products are, clothing, shoes, and accessories, and why, so I find this all very interesting. Athleisure, sustainable fashion, and stuff with brand names with limited releases. Home and garden. Why is it? Because it's springtime, and that's the time to sell, gardening stuff. Electronics, and it's why? Because it remains a strong market. Automotive parts, health and beauty, collectibles, right? And it tells you about eBay's tools and how you can get deeper, right? So that's really interesting. But then if I wanted to iterate this prompt more, let's see, does it let me iterate? Yeah, it does. Okay, so let's say suggest top performing products. Let's say I said, well, I'm going to go and sell gardening products, right? Because of that information, I want to search deeper into gardening products. So suggest top performing gardening and home products on eBay for spring 2025, given current consumer confidence levels and the most recent economic indicators. What makes them successful? Should I sell them? And I suppose I could even say how can I source them? Where can I source them? What's you know what I mean? You can just keep it. That's the cool thing about AI. It's like a conversation, and you continue the conversation, and you keep your prompt. You make your prompt stronger and stronger based on kind of the hints that it gives you, right? So it's saying the factors that are influencing, and it talks about the trends and the economic indicators, things that I asked it about. Technological integration. Interesting that there's technological integration, smart tools. I had no idea. Potential top performing products. Interesting. Smart gardening tools, organic, raised garden beds, efficient watering systems, quantity handling tools like special scissors, plant food, smart release plant food, and pest control stuff. So that's really interesting. Some home products that are in that category that might do well. Very fascinating. So I'm finding this, and then it gives you the key takeaways. That's really cool. So cool stuff, right? Let's move on. What else am I using it for? I'm also using it for photo editing, and that's really something that I do on eBay, right? So I'm using it to take out my background on eBay. I start my listings on eBay. I basically do a sell similar, or I use a draft, put all the information in, and then I go on my phone. I take the photos and I take out the background using eBay's tool that does that. And I gotta, you know what? I honestly, as much as maybe I complain a little bit about eBay, I got to give credit to them. Like, it's a really amazing tool. They're white. If you do it on your phone, I'm not sure the desktop version is as powerful, but if you're doing it on your phone, it's extremely slick, and it just takes the background, and it's quick. It takes the background out. It's super quick. And then I just, you can do it in a square, tell it to do it in a square, tell it to take it out, and then you can crop it. The only one thing that I wish it had is I wish it had a leveler. But, you know, hey, eBay, if you're listening, I'd love a leveler. But anyways, but other than that, it's like awesome. I mean, back in the day, we had to run through hoops and it would take so long to take out your white background. And now it's like at the snap of your fingertips, or it's in your fingertips. And then I just launch my listings right from that. I just do the white background thing, and then I just launch it right there. And it's taken out a lot of touch points for me in terms of my process. So and I know there are third-party things that you can do to use it if you're not. So I just typed into Gemini, like, what are the top 5 photo editing apps I can use to make pristine white backgrounds for my eBay listings? And it tells you, like, if there's a couple different Snap Edit. I don't know how much these cost. I don't know. They're probably not free. Like, I don't think Canva's free. And I think Adobe Express is free. Like, you get 5 free or something like that. But it takes, for me, it's just an extra step that I don't want to do. I just want to do it right in app for eBay. And then, once my eBay app is done, Treecat just pulls it right in. I don't even have to tell it to pull that listing in. It's constantly monitoring for new listings. So Treecat just pulls it in. And then once it's in Treecat, I can start cross-listing it. Okay. Let's see. What else do I use it for? Product descriptions. Yeah, I've been using eBay's product descriptions I don't know if you guys, if this is available for everybody, but it certainly is available for me. And what I do is, this is the description I wrote. And what I do is I say, use AI description, and it will give me a different description, maybe a more polished description. And then I might just also put my my description there as well. But you always want to make sure you're, or I might just use part of my description, because it doesn't like give it's not super specific. So I might also keep on my description, or I might play around with it. I don't know. Maybe just talk about how, where they're from and how they're repackaged. I'm not sure, but what I can tell you is I'm loving the AI descriptions. You can also undo it. So anyways, that's how I'm using AI in my reselling. And I highly encourage you to, if you're not, this is where the future is. This is where it's going. And Treecat is also jumping in on the AI bandwagon. What do we have in store for you with Treecat? Well, we have a new feature coming out, and it will basically populate categories. So it's going to add to your current cross-listing experience. It's going to populate, and this is in beta right now. So it's very important that you understand that this is in beta, and it's not quite perfected yet. But so use it, check it out, and we love feedback. So it's like the second time I've tried this. So this is brand new. Going back to inventory, and we're going to autofill, and we're going to try it to Mercari. We're going to press autofill. It's going to take about 20 seconds. And the other cool thing about this is we will be able to do it in bulk. So if you, this hasn't been put into production, but what's going to happen here in the near future is, let me go back to inventory. You'll be able to select these items in fast list. So I'm in the fast list view. If I go back to the card list view, that's the card list view. But let's say I say, hey, I want to do, multiple things here. I'm going to find the ones that I just uploaded. This one, this one. And then you can go into your fast list view, or theoretically you'd be able to go into your fast list view, and then it's going to show you like all your items, right? And you just scroll through, and you click you tell it to autofill 7 items. This is not working yet, but it will be in the future. So that's going to be a really cool thing that will happen in the future. So, okay. So this one, it did put in the product description. Cool. So, yeah. So I told it to autofill it. It autofilled the price, the description, the category, the subcategory, the subcategory, the size, the shipping, the condition, but it didn't put in the hashtags. So I'm going to put in a couple of hashtags. So yeah, so that's the experience. It's brand new. It's in beta. We definitely want people to try it out and let us know what you think. Yeah, so it's exciting. So we're trying to use AI to make things quicker and better with your cross-listing experience. And yeah, that's what we're doing. Any live view comments that we want to answer? Anybody in the chat here that wants to ask a question? I don't see it. You guys need to come on into the chat and ask me some questions that you might have on your mind that you need to get answered. But yeah, I guess if that's it for today, I'm glad I could show you this real quick preview. I could do another one. Let's do another one and see what happens. Let's do this one, and let's go tell it to, like, actually, how many are selected? So selected 1 item, and I'm going to tell it to do autofill 1 item from eBay to Mercari, and see what happens. It takes about 20 seconds, but like I said, that's going to get faster and faster as we continue to optimize this. So let's see here. Did it work? Oh, it worked. No, let's see. Let's do autofill, beta, eBay to Mercari. There we go. It's still action pending. All right. And like I said, it's going to take, and there could be other things happening too. So like if I go into my events, it can show me what it's working on, because, Treecat does multiple things at once. It has a smart queuing system. So what it might do is it might say, right now I'm also sharing your Poshmark closet. So I might pause the Poshmark sharing so that I can focus on doing this particular process. So, all right, so it's done, and we're going to see what happens. So it did pull in the product name. It did pull in the description. It did pull in the category, subcategory, subcategory, size, shipping. Woo! This is awesome. I am loving this. So all I have to do is put in the hashtags. Oh, I'm just loving this. So the more you use it, the better it gets. And we're going to continue to iterate on this, right? So yeah, give it a try. Just make sure that, you don't, I would say don't use, let's see here. So I'm telling it to autofill. Don't use override existing titles and descriptions right now, because that's not working yet. I don't think I'll use that either. I don't think I want it to overwrite my existing titles, but you might, because I do all that on eBay, and I really like the way it does. I do my title and it does my description, but people might be starting from Poshmark, or they might be starting their listings from Mercari, or they might even be starting their listings right on Treecat. So maybe you want to use that if you're doing that. But anyways, so just use this beta AI autofill. And then see, go through the action pending. And while this is happening, you could be opening up a separate tab and starting something else. You could do a cross listing. You could, I don't know, go in and make sure you got all your settings right, or whatever. What other action that you could be doing? You could be, duplicating this tab, and you could say, maybe I'll check and see. I don't know. What other action you want to be doing, you could be doing, because like I said, with the smart queuing, okay, so it's done. So I'm going to go to see what happened with the Mercari. It pulled in the description. It pulled in the price, the title. It pulled in the price. It pulled in the description, the category, the subcategory, the subcategory, the size, the shipping, the condition. And all I have to do is put in my hashtags. How cool is that? Wow, this is so exciting. Okay, so that's what we're doing here at Treecat to support, the cross-listing experience and to make it get it better and better and easier and quicker and more accurate. And I think one of the cool things that I am realizing is that it's also kind of like, some of the stuff that I was doing, I might not have been getting it right. And so stuff is getting like optimized better for search because I'm using AI. So that's really, really interesting. The fact that AI can actually, because what we're telling it is to make sure that everything's getting optimized better in search, not in so many words, in different in different like words that these programmers that are doing this for us, they know what they're doing. So they're putting stuff into the prompt that they're really good prompt engineers. Let's just put it that way. And I've told them I want these things to populate so that and to create so that these listings will get better in search. So not only is it going to save you time when you're doing your cross listing, it might actually be more accurate and more optimized for search so that the items are going to appear higher in search. So yeah, so that's what our goal is here. So anyways, if you guys have any questions, reach out. This is super exciting. I hope you are using AI. I hope you're going to try out our AI autofill beta and give it a shot. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us because we're always here for you. We want to make you successful because your success is our success, right? We don't get paid until you get paid. Or let's see, yeah, we don't the pricing, right? So we don't charge you until basically you sell an item and we take it down. That's our pricing model. It's basically like pay as you sell. So our success is your success is our success, and we're excited for the future. And yeah, that's what I wanted to say. I hope you guys have a wonderful Saturday. Keep listing, keep cross listing, and we look forward to seeing you next weekend for another fun Treecat coffee chat. Okay, so take care and mahalo. Bye-bye.